Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here with, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. So we're hearing the Big Ten and the Pac-10 have already canceled the football season. About the only chance is maybe the Southeast Conference might. I'd say about a 50-50 chance of them having a season. We're looking at possibly spring football. So I'm curious how you guys feel about the college football season basically being done. Looking at some of the comments and stuff where they're announced it on Bleacher Report from people are basically like, life's not worth living without college football, and it's all politics, no science, and that's just BS or whatever, but, be that as it may. The reality is, when you have all of these different programs out there, not all of them make money, and it costs more money to try and prevent the coronavirus for colleges. So when you think of, the NFL, they can spend money on doing this. They're doing testing every day until they have X number of days in a row, and then they'll test every other day. And you see the NBA, they put everybody in a bubble. Maybe some of the colleges, some of the big programs can do that, but the smaller ones can't. And with players not being paid, for some of them it's like, why am I risking this and, to fatten the universities and stuff? It is what it is. It's kind of funny. This is a funny story. This takes me back to college, okay? Football has evolved and changed a lot since, when I went to school. I want you to think about this. The NFL, we've had training camp open for a couple weeks now, right? And they're doing strength and conditioning. They're doing a little bit of work on the field, but they're not actually having padded practices until Friday. And they'll have 9 days of padded practices. And even with the collective bargaining agreement, they have an agreement where it's only 14 padded practices in a normal year. And then I think it's 11 padded practices during the season. So 25 padded practices, that's it. Does that sound like a lot to you? I'm remembering when I played football at JMU, and we had Coach Przicki, who came in after they fired Chalice McMillan. Coach Przicki, who was from Delaware, I think it was. We had spring football. Spring football, which is practice. Not a game now. We're talking about practice. I remember we had shirts if you made it through the whole spring football season, okay? What the shirt said was, I hit for 20. As in, you survived and you made it through every single practice. You didn't get injured, and you were able to hit for 20 practices in the springtime. Isn't that crazy? And now we got 9 padded practices before an NFL season. Times, they have definitely changed. I tell you what's kind of sad. Facebook. I don't do as much Facebook as I used to because I focus in on YouTube, right? But before YouTube took off for me, literally the Joe Blue Sports Report was just on my Facebook page. And so Facebook, because you don't post a whole lot, what they do is Facebook memories. So they'll go back, a few years, to show you what you posted, 3 years ago or 4 years ago. So that way you'll repost it, so that way they still have content. So it looks like people are actually doing more than they're actually doing. And so today, 3 years ago today, it's a picture of Joe Blue at Oxnard training camp. We got to be out in California with Kayla.
Well, that I'm talking about going to the training camp wasn't all that. But I did enjoy seeing family. But
Yeah.
not the training camp itself wasn't all that.
I tell you what, I would love to be in Oxnard with Kayla. And you remember when we took the Jeep and we went up further up the coast, where we went off-roading?
Like I said, the
seeing Kayla's Jeep just flying through the air
no,
and all
so
the sand.
You misunderstood. I said the training camp wasn't worth going to. I didn't say the rest of it wasn't.
The hotel that was on the ocean was worse.
That's not the training camp. I said training camp.
All of that was all part.
The training
You just
camp,
like to argue with me, don't
no,
you?
I don't. I hate to say it, but Washington knows how to have training camp. I hate to say it.
Well, they probably won't be doing that down in Richmond anymore.
Well, no, not this year, but.
Well, no, but that was losing money. Nobody showed up for it.
Or they weren't making any money at it. People are showing up, they weren't making any money.
Well, actually, you know what though? I tell you what. The last few years we went to training camp, it wasn't as good as the first time I went.
Okay, that.
Okay. Before they built all the townhouses, when the parking used to be on the other side, they had actually more trees over. Right now, there's the wall. So literally, you're on a wall, and you got the sun beating down on you. They originally had like bleachers.
Well,
okay, so they had bleach. I don't think you were there this year because that was the year that we did the photo shoot on the field with Tyron Smith.
Now the year that we met, what's his name? Not Law Nation.
We saw Law.
No, the other dude. One was out.
Shango.
That was that. Now that time when we went was worth going.
Yeah, that was great.
But the other times.
But you weren't there before when they had the parking, because this is when it was nice. This is before they built all the houses and stuff around there. But they had, and this is when I met Keith Russell from CBS News Sports. But they had bleachers, which were actually in the shade. It wasn't real high bleachers like on the other side. And you had, if you had the tailgate, the membership, you got to go in front of that, and that's where you were close to the field. And this is before they sold the packages, where, basically if you have the package where you actually get the autograph stuff. So this is like everybody. So you could get close to the field, the players, when they were coming out. And that was really, really nice. But then they changed it up after they built the houses. The parking's so much further away, and it's not as many people that were there the last time we were there. It really wasn't that as great. I'm just saying it. You're right. It had kind of waned.
It's just like
and even with when we went to the Washington team, the first time I went down there, I think was when RG3, when Joe Boo jinxed RG3. That year was actually, that place was packed. That's when they first started opening.
But they don't make you pay to get close to the ropes.
Oh yeah, because they're begging people to come. The Washington team is begging people to show up.
It's just like tailgating. The best place I tailgate was in Washington. Remember, they make you pay for that parking space. If you went there early.
Well, when we tailgated in Dallas, remember, you got to get there you need to camp out the night before. Washington, you can deep fry. They don't care what you do.
You buy a couple parking spots and say wherever is not occupied, you can use that without having to pay extra to use those extra parking spots.
And you don't have to be on the perimeter in the grass and stuff. But each one is different. So back to my original statement here. Over the course of the next couple hours, probably college football for this season will die. Well,
they said by tomorrow.
Like I said, basically the one they're saying that really has a chance would be the Southeast Conference, which is the big one. Yeah, so it's the NFL or nothing. And so here's where it's going to be crazy though too, because I know Virginia has canceled high school ball sports too. So there's not going to be Friday night football for high school, Thursday night for JV and freshmen. So you're not going to see high school. The only football you're going to see basically is the NFL. So it behooves the NFL to have their shit together to have a season, because they're going to be the monopoly. They won't have any competition. Friday night, you're not going to high school football. And in Texas, we know how big Friday night lights are. You're not going to have college football Thursday and things. So, you know, the Thursday night games, be it a lot of those are sorry games. It's the only game in town. So now all of a sudden, Jets Arizona or Detroit, Chargers, Detroit Chargers. Those games are going to be games you're going to see on Saturdays and stuff. So the question is, if there's no college football, if there's no high school football, are you getting hyped for Chargers Lions?
No. No.
No? So it's Dallas
and anybody in our conference. That's it.
But you know what actually will be good though. Here's the way you got to look at it. You got to look at things a little differently here, because see, you may have Cowboys play a lot. I mean, we always know Cowboys have 5 or 6 primetime games all the time. You know, very few. I think last year they had 2 1:00 games. So you got the thing is we always see the Cowboys. And unless we were going to Lucky's, and Lucky's they closed down after New Year's. We still don't know what happened with that one, but unless we were at Lucky's, we never really got to see the Eagles unless they're playing the Cowboys or the Washington team. Maybe we'll get a chance to actually see more of the Giants games, because you know they hide the Giants because they stink.
Well, they will be playing Monday night against the Steelers.
Right, but you know, maybe you'll see. You know, we'll see more of the Eagles. And we can really scout those teams a little more than we usually do without having direct TV. So you're not interested in seeing those guys?
If it's not divisional games or Dallas Cowboys, I'm not watching.
Man.
I'll be in my car working.
So you're not a hardcore fan like me.
No, I am, but I'll watch the Dallas Cowboys and that's it. I don't watch all the other games because it's pointless. It's not my team, so why support another team that's not in our division and watch their game?
It's something to do.
It's called get out and go work.
Okay, well, you do that. I mean, I can do that in the workshop. We can be working in the shop on making racks for people.
Or I get in my car and get deliveries.
Oh man,
it's actually making extra money.
So you tell me I'm gonna be watching a lot of football by myself? Is that what you're telling me?
Unless you want to invite a friend over.
All right.
At least on Saturday.
All right, y'all. Well, we're almost back to the man cave. We got some racks we got to work on, and in 7 hours and 18 minutes, I got my live stream coming up. We'll be talking about the NFL taking over the sports blogosphere and sports completely this fall. I'm Mark Holmes with my number 1 son. See you